What is going on, good people? I am going to walk you through an agent prototype that I've been working on. This would be something that someone, a GRC analyst or someone doing vulnerability management could use. And basically what it's going to do is it's going to reach out to Tenable. We're going to tell it what devices we want it to scan. It will then scan those devices. Then what it will do once it scans those devices, it's going to parse out that information, take the biggest vulnerabilities, and then what it will do is take the top ones and then it'll send it over to Jira, which is a project management software. And then from there, the rest of the team can kind of sort out where it kind of goes from there. And I'll walk you through how this works. I created the backend already. This particular project is going to walk you through really how the front end activity works. So I kind of want to pull up everything and kind of show you here. So let's pull up the GUI and take a look at it. So this is the actual front end. So this is what the GRC analyst would see. So they have a couple of options here. They can start the scan. It could go inside here. If they need to change any of the API keys, they can go in there and change those. Those are all hidden so no one can see them in the front end. Those will be configured in the back end. And then, of course, exit out. So we'll go ahead and I'll walk you through a demo of this prototype. So first thing we're going to do is hit Start Scan. And at this window right here, you'll notice it's asking for the IP address. So the current IP. So the local IP address or the private IP address is right here. So all you have to do is take that private IP address. And then in second option you have, you can either run the scans normal or you can do a dry run. So we'll click I understand. We're going to click launch scan. So now the scan is beginning. So it's going to look for a template that I already created. The name of that template is agent scan Tenable. So once it finds that, it's going to say again, which it already did, it says it's ready to launch. So if I'm ready to launch that scan, all I have to do is confirm. If we jump over here and go into Tenable, you can see the scan now is pending and is about ready to start. And then let me just jump over to Jira real quick so you understand. So there's nothing in here right now, but what's going to happen is once this scan is done, what's going to happen here is it will let us know in this console. So again, you don't have to do all this back and forth. You don't have to go to Tenable. You don't have to see if the scan started. I'm just doing that to show you guys, but the GRC analyst wouldn't do that. You would do everything from this scan right here. So let's go again. I want to jump back into Tenable so we can see that the scan started. And the scan takes a little bit. It's probably going to take 7-8 minutes for that scan to complete. So what I'm going to do, so you don't have to sit here and look at my ugly mug, I'm going to pause the video and we'll come back when that scan is done. Back over. All right, so you can see status publishing, and as soon as the results publish, what it's then going to do is send those results over here to Jira, and then we'll be able to kind of look through those. What I want to do is I want to actually jump over to Tenable, and I want to kind of go through the actual guys to kind of see everything that was pulled, and then, so we'll let those publish. Perfect. So it's exporting the results. So that's working. All right. So we see over here it's completed. I want to jump into this just so I can show you guys. So it took 8 minutes for the scan to run. 4 medium vulnerabilities, 1 low. Let's actually jump in and take a look at this. So total results, you see there's a whole bunch of them that are info. Now how I tailored this specific scan to work, and again, depending on the organization, you're going to set this up differently. But because I didn't know what it was going to pull, and I wanted you guys to see the results that it populates over to Jira. Now, you have to understand in a normal working environment, one, it's going to be more than one VM that you're scanning. And you could have hundreds or thousands of vulnerabilities that you'd have to kind of comb through. So you wouldn't want to send, your lows and your mediums, probably any criticals you're going to send over there and some highs. But again, just for demonstration purposes, I wanted you guys to be able to see. So let's jump back over to the agent. So as you can see, it's done. It created 5 issues, which it exactly had 5 total vulnerabilities. So those were all sent over. Let's take a look. Let's jump over to Jira so we can take a look at that. Let's refresh this screen and they should pop. It's going to give us all the information on each particular vulnerability. It's going to tell us what asset it was, the severity level, the CVSS score. Now again, because this was low, this CVSS score, the base of it it's not even 0. So that's why that one is not showing. So let me pick another one so you guys can kind of see. All right, let's pick one of these. All right. So it tells you the asset. And again, in a normal corporate environment, you're going to have tons of different assets. So this is important. This is on here so you can quickly figure out, okay, what asset are we talking about? It says medium CVSS score 6.5. And then it also gives the solution here, what needs to be done, right? Let me go to a board view. I like the board view. So these are all unassigned. If I click on one of these, the first thing someone's going to want to do is you're going to assign it to yourself. All right, so I assigned it to myself. So I'll assign this to myself, and then we'll click out of this. So now this is assigned to me. And then what would happen, whoever is now responsible for this, they would then move it over to their to-do list. Once they got started on it, they would put it needs to be checked. They would pass it over to review. And then at this point, someone else would take ownership of it, test it, make sure it was patched correctly. If it was, they would move it over to done. If it didn't, they would pass it back. And then, this process would continue until the vulnerability was fixed. Once it's done, it goes in the done category. And then again, you would just do the same with on how this would work. And then again, once you're done, you just go back to menu and then you'd start scanning again. So obviously, this has the potential to save so much time, so much energy for a GRC analyst. So hope you guys enjoyed the video. Catch you on the next one. Peace.